A huge political row has erupted after the Prime Minister compared the opposition to the Indian Mujahideen, the PFI, and the East India Company. The Prime Minister was speaking to his own parliamentary colleagues. This was a meeting of the BJP parliamentary party. And it is reported that the Prime Minister called the new opposition alliance, the India Alliance, as an alliance that is directionless. On the name itself, he quipped, ironically, that there are many groups that use the name, the entity India. The Indian Mujahideen does, the East India Company does, the PFI, the Popular Front of India does. He was, of course, lashing out at the name that the opposition alliance has given to itself and making a political remark. The opposition, of course, has gone into full attack mode, saying it is unprecedented for the Prime Minister to compare the opposition to a terrorist group. To be clear, the Prime Minister wasn't saying the opposition is like a terrorist group. The Prime Minister was saying any entity can use the name India, and the three entities he named were the Indian Mujahideen, the PFI, and the East India Company. Now, as the opposition and the government are already locked in battle over what is happening in Manipur, this is a raging controversy, a new controversy. Let's introduce our guests on the program today as we look at the face-off between the government and the opposition over the Prime Minister's remarks. Varun Singh, senior journalist, is with us. Good to see you, Varun. We're also joined by Tehseen Poonawala, who is, of course, a die-hard, never say die Congress supporter. Good to see you, Tehseen. Ashwini Shahi, a leader of the BJP, is with us. Namaskar, Ashwini ji. And senior journalist Rahul Dev, senior journalist and editor Rahul Dev is with us. Always good to see you, Rahul ji. Let me start by getting first comments. We'll play out Mallikarjun Kharge and the BJP's comments. Remember, the Prime Minister's comment is not on camera. This was a closed-door meeting of the BJP parliamentary party. Let me actually start with you, Tehseen. You said on Twitter, this is unprecedented. Do you really think the Prime Minister was calling the opposition a terror group, or was he making a play on the word India?
Of course, he was making a play on the word, but it's unprecedented. It's heartbreaking to see the Prime Minister do this because he is the tallest leader in the country. He's got everything. What more can a man in his position ask for? To link in it to a terrorist organization, the Indian Mujahideen, the opposition is not morally correct. He may be legally sound. He may have been within the legal limits so to get away with it. But there is a line which he's crossed, which is the line of morality. This great country has had many opposition leaders, fierce opposition, but no one's called anyone a terrorist. I think we've now come down. There have been personal attacks. The Prime Minister has been a victim of personal attacks, as is the Gandhis, by the Prime Minister. He's called Mrs. Gandhi Jersey Cow. He's called Rahul Gandhi Hybrid Bachra. Recently in West Bengal, he was attacking Mamta ji by doing Didi o Didi. But that has sort of, I thought that ended. At a position where the BJP is in pole position for 2024, where it seems that it's going to win 2024, where the Prime Minister will have an unprecedented third time, to resort to this makes it very difficult. I just think he could have been about this and set the narrative because he's achieved everything he wanted. Aur kya chahiye? So I think he should not play on this.
अश्विनी जी, और क्या चाहिए? इसकी क्या जरूरत थी? इस तरह की भाषा की क्या जरूरत थी? मैं फिर कहती हूँ कि प्रधानमंत्री का जो बयान है वो कैमरा पे नहीं है, ये रिपोर्टेड कमेंट्स है. मिस्टर खरगे हैज इवन रिस्पोंडेड टू देम. आप क्या कहेंगे?
बरखा जी, देखिए, आज माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का ये बयान जो सामने आया है, ये बयान सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक तुलनात्मक है कि उन्होंने भी इंडिया नाम रखा था, चाहे सिमी हो, चाहे जो है पीएफआई हो, चाहे मुजाहिदीन हो, सब में इंडिया रखा था. और ये इंडिया तो भारत वाला इंडिया थोड़ा ही है. आई के बाद डैश है, एन के बाद डैश है. ये टूटा फूटा इंडिया इन लोगों ने गठबंधन जो बनाया है उसके ऊपर कोई कमेंट नहीं था. मगर नाम बदलने पर जो इन लोगों ने एक भावनात्मक खेल खेलने की बात की है देश के जनता के साथ, उस पर एक करारा प्रहार था. और आज जिस हिसाब से इंडिया के नाम पर, इंडिया के आड़ में इस टूटे फूटे इंडिया को इन लोगों ने, पूरा नाम नहीं ले सकते हैं ये लोग, पूरा जो इनका नाम है कोई नहीं ले सकता है जितने लोग हैं. तो इन लोगों को भाई कांग्रेस का नाम भी जो INC था उसको इंच कहना चाहिए था. तो इसलिए मेरा ये कहना है कि आज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सिर्फ उस कलुषित मानसिकता की बात की कि उनकी मानसिकता, चाहे ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी की मानसिकता हो, वो भी कलुषित थी, ठीक नहीं थी हिंदुस्तान के लिए. इनकी सिमी की भी नहीं थी, PFI की भी नहीं थी, और जो ये आज तथा कथित ये गठबंधन बना है इसकी भी मानसिकता नहीं है.
आप कह रहे हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री ऑपोजिशन को टेररिस्ट ग्रुप नहीं कह रही थी, वो सिर्फ वर्ड प्ले कर रहे थे, मतलब खेल कर रहे थे.
मान्य उन्होंने यही कहा है कि उनकी भी मानसिकता जो है देश के लिए अच्छी नहीं थी और इनकी भी मानसिकता नहीं है. मणिपुर के प्रति कोई संवेदना नहीं है. आज इनको 24 का चुनाव दिखना, ये अपना माहौल बना रहे हैं कि इंडिया नाम के पीछे छिपना। तो वो प्रधानमंत्री जी कह रहे थे कि टेररिस्ट ग्रुप ने भी अपना नाम इंडिया रखा, लेकिन उनके भाव नहीं बदले। आपने भी अगर इंडिया रख लिया है तो आपकी नीति, आपके भ्रष्टाचार, आपका कोई भी चीज बदल नहीं सकता है। आप कितना भी माहौल बना लें, आपके नाम में कुछ नहीं रखा है। ये वही लोग हैं बरखा जी, एक लाइन कह के समाप्त करूंगा, ये वही लोग हैं जब हम औरंगजेब रोड का नाम बदल रहे थे तो हंगामा कर रहे थे, जब प्रयाग का नाम बदला गया था तो इलाहाबाद का नाम बदला गया था तो हंगामा कर रहे थे। आज क्या है नाम में, उस नाम के पीछे छुपने का क्या कारण है जी?
तो मैं राहुल जी के पास आपका बयान लेके जाती हूँ, लेकिन आपने मणिपुर की बात की तो मैं सिर्फ एक चीज कहना चाह रही हूँ कि हम 3 दिन से एक बीजेपी विधायक की कहानी बता रहे हैं, वुंगजागिन बाल्टे, जो क्रिपल्ड है, पैरालाइज है वायलेंस की वजह से। वो बीजेपी के सर लीडर है अश्विनी शाही जी, प्लीज हमारी उन पे कहानी देखिए। वो 2 महीने से अकेले बैठे हैं दिल्ली के एक रेंटेड मकान में। तो आपने जब बात की एम्पैथी की, मैं आज उनसे मिलने गई थी, वो ना कुछ बोल पाते हैं, ना उनके पास पैसा है मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट के लिए। ये बीजेपी के अपने नेता है। तो जहां आपने एम्पैथी की बात की, मैं बस ये एक मौका लेना चाह रही थी कि एम्पैथी बीजेपी कम से कम अपने सहयोगियों की तरफ वीरेंद्र सिंह सरकार अगर दिखा पाए। मुझे मालूम है मैंने थोड़ा सा टॉपिक बदला क्योंकि आपने मणिपुर की बात की, लेकिन मैं वापस आती हूँ राहुल जी के पास। मणिपुर को लेके ऑलरेडी लॉगर हेड्स पे है ऑपोजिशन और सरकार, अब ये नया किस्सा शुरू हुआ है। राहुल, is there merit in the opposition protesting, or was the prime minister just doing word play, जिसको अश्विनी शाही ने कहा तुलना खेल खेल में तुलना हुई?
अश्विनी जी ने एक और शब्द का इस्तेमाल किया, he used another word for opposition, कुत्सित। कुत्सित in English would be difficult to, maybe somebody else Varun can help me out. But I was planning to say the same word for the Prime Minister using and raising this issue, making this point. I think it's petty. It's nothing else. It's not expected of the Prime Minister, especially one of the strongest Prime Ministers of the country. Whether he spoke it on camera or off camera, inside a hall with his own party people and workers, or in a public meeting, it doesn't matter at all. It's not the issue. But even with his own people, he can stoop to such a level as to, belittle the very name itself. There are hundreds of organizations and dozens of his own schemes that he has personally launched with the name India. He himself uses India, I think, more than he uses Bharat. So when he names his schemes and his institutions that he has launched with the name India, then it's national. And if the opposition uses the same name, all he can think of is the names of terrorist organizations and East India Company. I mean, it is mind-boggling. I mean, he's, as I don't know who said it just now, Taisin said that he's already, BJP is a so strong position right now, stronger than ever.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really need to come down to this level to bring
So
the whole discourse down to this level that we are discussing the name India.
Varun, why do you think this name is under so much discussion? Is it because the BJP will not let the opposition appropriate the name India?
Okay, Kutsit means disgusting. To just tell, if I'm not wrong, Rahulji, that would be the meaning. Disgusting is the meaning of Kutsit. But Barkha, I see probably I have seen the politics that you all have seen earlier. I have not seen that, and I have seen the kind of politics that I do not find any. There's not much to talk about it. It is you all call it as you all see it with the prism of too much of what do you say, politics as a divine thing. I don't see that way. And what Modi has done today is the same thing that the alliance opposition did a few days ago. They played a master stroke by naming themselves India. Today he did another marketing strategy by trying to bring that name down. And he understands that BJP today might be in the best of its position. But it is also true that when 26 parties come together, it may become difficult for him to get those many seats. And what can any person, and the best person in politics is who never underestimates his opponents. Whatever he did today is only and only to make his position stronger by bringing down the opposition, by calling them these names. And I don't think, I don't subscribe to the class 2 civic book politics, because that is not what is being played in India anymore. So
you're saying this has become the normal. This is now the norm. And Himanta Biswa and Rahul Gandhi are battling this out on Twitter. Rahul Gandhi saying, call us what you want to. We are India. And Himanta is saying, हम भारत हैं, आप इंडिया हैं. ये आप कह रहे हैं वरुण कि ये तो अब नॉर्मल पॉलिटिक्स है, इसमें लोग ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं देंगे, ज्यादा अटेंशन भी नहीं देंगे. फॉर मोस्ट पीपल इट्स अ नॉर्मल डे.
You tell me, Barkha, you are you go on the field so often. I am on the ground so often. Do people even remember this? A person maybe in UP or maybe in Maharashtra, they will vote on the lines of caste in rural areas. It wouldn't even matter whether the alliance is called India or the alliance is called UPA. And not secondary, it is only for the eyeballs of the urban voters over here who swing this way or that way based on these names. Maybe Shining India in 2004.
So you're in a way, Varun, saying that it's a non-issue. I'm sorry, I'm rushing you along because I know all of you are on a tight news deadline. Tehseen, give me half a second. I just want to play out Prahlad Joshi, the BJP leader's comments, talking about what the Prime Minister had actually said behind closed doors. Listen.
और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने ये भी कहा, डेस्परेट और डायरेक्शनलेस, बिना दिशा और हताश विपक्ष के कारण तो हमको और सतर्क रहना है, ये भी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा. और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ये कहा, 2047 तक भारत विकसित राष्ट्र बनाना चाहिए. प्रधानमंत्री ने जो कहा है उसमें यही है कि तो उन्होंने ईस्ट इंडिया और कई इसमें कहा है, बाद में डिटेल आपको दिया जाएगा.
So he kind of ducked that last bit. उन्होंने कहा वो ईस्ट इंडिया कहा है, वो आपको बाद में डिटेल देंगे. So it's not that the government or the parliamentary affairs minister really was to come out and own that comment. That is maybe Tehseen, the BJP would argue, for the base.
Yeah, but if the base is weak, what is left? I remember, Barkha, when John McCain was campaigning against Barack Obama, a lady got up and she said, Barack Obama is a foreigner. And this man gets up, John McCain, and says, no, he's an American. I remember when some very mean things were spoken about Sushma ji, Sonia ji defended. I know that when L.K. Advani ji went to the United Nations, he defended the Manrega scheme. That has been the quality of India's politics. Kustuk does not just mean disgusting, it also means sickening, it means despicable, it means slimy. For the man who's got everything, I mean, here is the Prime Minister who, as per his own people say he's the most powerful man in the universe, the most popular leader. He's got everything. To fall down to this level, to call your opposition slimy, despicable, I think it speaks very poorly of him. And I think if the opposition demands that the Prime Minister make a statement in both houses of Parliament, which the Prime Minister has made outside Parliament, what is wrong in the demand? If the opposition wants that Manipur be discussed under Rule 267, set aside all agenda for the day and we discuss it under 267 because there is civil war.
Here I have to disagree with you because Amit Shah has again written a letter to the opposition saying, please, I appeal to you to discuss Manipur. The opposition is also point scoring. The opposition wants the Prime Minister to be in the House. Is that more important or is discussing Manipur more important?
I'll answer that question. That's a fantastic question. There are two reasons the opposition wants the Honorable Prime Minister to be in the House. बहुत हुआ नारी पे अत्याचार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार। बहुत हुआ इस देश पे वार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार। This government was elected on the name of Narendra Modi ji. Let's not kid ourselves. It wasn't elected on the name of Amit Shah ji, Rajnath Singh ji, etc., etc. I don't want to make it too long. So Modi ji's name, who it is elected on, he must be present. Ultimately, why shouldn't the Prime Minister be present? Nobody's asking him to speak. Make a statement and let Amit Shah ji answer. Second thing, Amit Shah ji went to Manipur on 29th May. This incident that we are talking about is this despicable incident. This happened on 4th of May.
By the way, Chief Minister reported a second rape and murder of 2 women on the 4th of May. We at Mojo
That's true.
reported a second rape.
That's true. You've been amongst a few people on ground actually bringing out stories from Manipur. The Chief Minister was forced to delete his tweets, but the Chief Minister did not brief the Home Minister about these rapes on the 4th of May. On the contrary, he's come to national TV and said, what you've reported, there have been hundreds of such cases, and therefore we shut the internet so the world doesn't know. So if the Home Minister himself was not briefed of it, at least we can expect the Prime Minister to sit in the House. I want to know, why can't the Prime Minister just be in the House? That's a simple question.
Let's come back to what we're discussing right now, which is what is the latest round of battle, as it were, between the opposition and the government. Varun says, yaar, ye to ab logon ko aadat pad gayi hai. Aise hi ho gayi hai hamari rajniti. Before I come to Ashwini Shahi, let's play what Malika Arjun Kharge had to say about the Prime Minister's remarks.
जो मैं नोटिस दिया था 267 पे, उस 50 में मेरा तीसरा नंबर है
सर। वो टाइम से होता है सर, अदरवाइज यू आर नंबर 1 इन माय हार्ट सर, यू आर नंबर 1 इन माय हार्ट।
आई नो दैट योर हार्ट इज वेरी लार्ज, बट दैट इज दैट साइड, नॉट दिस साइड। ये heartless people, साहब, helping them.
Once again, for a change, leader of the house has a good point. Biologically, heart is on the left side. My heart is this side, sir.
No, that's why you always move like this. You always move like this. You never see this side. So your heart goes that side only. मणिपुर जल रहा है, रेप हो रहे हैं मणिपुर में, मकाना जलाए, और आप वहां मणिपुर की बात हम कर रहे हैं, मणिपुर की बात हम कर रहे हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ईस्ट इंडिया की बात कर रहे हैं। हाँ, इंडिया मीन्स ईस्ट इंडिया बोल रहे हैं।
Okay, there were some serious points made there, Ashwini ji, but also there was humor. और वही बात हो रही है कि ये नोक जोक जो है, ये जो ह्यूमर है, ये कहाँ चली गई हमारी राजनीति से? ये इतना विट्रियोलिक, इतना पर्सनल, ये कैसे हमारा नेशनल डिस्कोर्स हो गया, अश्विनी जी? अभी आपने देखा होगा खड़गे जी और धनकर जी मजाक में भी बात कर रहे थे और अपनी बातें भी रख रहे थे। ऐसे होनी चाहिए ना राजनीतिक एक्सचेंज,
होनी चाहिए। देखिए, ये इस पे हम कहाँ इनकार कर रहे हैं। आज देखिए, अभी आपने तहसीन जी की बातों से डिसएग्री करते हुए कहा कि चिट्ठी लिखा उन्होंने और वो सदन में आज बोल भी रहे थे, लेकिन क्या विपक्ष के अंदर ये चीज होनी चाहिए? उन्होंने सिर्फ कहा कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को बोलना चाहिए। मैं ये बात कहता हूं कि देखिए, वहां पर मणिपुर में जब से घटना हुई है, गए गृह मंत्री जी 3 दिन का कैंप किया। आज हम सदन में बार बार कह रहे हैं कि हम जवाब देंगे। माननीय राजनाथ सिंह जी जो है उपनेता हैं, उन्होंने भी कहा मल्लिकार्जुन जी से मिलकर कि हम जवाब देना चाहते हैं, चर्चा करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन ये लोग चर्चा नहीं करना चाह रहे थे। ये प्रॉब्लम थी वहां पर। लेकिन आज जो दिख रही है, आज अभी मल्लिकार्जुन जी की बातों में अच्छा लगा, सदन चला तो कम से कम। ये स्थिति आएगी तो गृह मंत्री जी भी बोलेंगे, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी भी बोलेंगे, लेकिन विपक्ष की ये मांग कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से ही बात करनी है, वही रहेंगे तो चर्चा होगी, वरना नहीं होगी, ये कहाँ की बात है। और मैं आपको एक बात कहना चाहता हूं, अभी थोड़ा सा उससे हिले थे तहसीन जी, मैंने बात किया तो मैं राजस्थान की बात याद दिलाना चाहता हूं। लड़की हूं, लड़ सकती हूं, उत्तर प्रदेश में प्रियंका जी बोलती हैं, लेकिन वहां आपकी विधायिका दिव्या मदेरणा जी कहती हैं कि हमको किस तरीके की सुरक्षा मिल रही है। वहां जाकर क्यों भूल जाते हैं? ये दोहरा मापदंड क्यों? हाउस में एक माननीय मंत्री कह रहे हैं कि अपने गिरेबान में झांकिए और उनको एक्सपेल कर दिया जाता है। ये कांग्रेस के ऊपर एक करारा तमाचा है, जो कि उनके मिनिस्टर ने, और उसमें हाउस में कही गई बात बहुत ही समझ लीजिए गीता और कुरान की तरह सच होती है, और उन्होंने इस बात को कहा है, उसके बाद उनको एक्सपेल कर दिया गया। मणिपुर पर चर्चा होनी चाहिए बरखा जी, बहुत ही घृणित कार्य किया गया है, मगर चंपारण की उस बेटी पर भी चर्चा करना चाहिए जिसको नंगा करके सरिये से जलाया गया और गांव में घुमाया गया निर्वस्त्र करके।
मैं तो बोलूंगी एज अ वुमन कि हर प्रदेश में अकाउंटेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए अबाउट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग टू वुमेन। ये तो इसमें तो कोई दो राय हो ही नहीं सकती। राहुल जी, आपका लास्ट रिमार्क लेना चाहती हूँ, मुझे मालूम है कि सबको कुछ क्षणों में जाना है। राहुल जी, यस तहसीन, आई विल कम टू यू। राहुल, गो अहेड।
Just that I think both the parties, both the sides, especially the Prime Minister, should not think so poorly of the Indian people that they are so silly and unintelligent not to understand the real issues. So, I mean, they should stop being using such petty tactics to run each other down. It applies to both the sides.
Okay,
please, for heaven's sake, we have so many serious issues. Be serious and talk serious.
I think we'd all agree with that. Varun, wouldn't you agree with that? That, you know, you can't have your northeastern state burning and having this be actually the headline.
Actually, to be honest, I don't know whom to blame over here, because all the political parties are doing the same. No one wants to have a discussion on serious issue anywhere. May it be Karnataka, may it be Rajasthan, or may it be Maharashtra today, or for example, the parliament. Look at it as a young person who has covered politics. I see the discussions that we used to have earlier, they all have been gone, and equal blame lies with the Congress, that is the opposition, and to an extent with the BJP too. But one small thing I would again and again say, that please, you know, these are just deviational tactics, and it is more important for common voters. Know the voters are intelligent and they vote at that point of time based on what they want. And
yeah, I think that's an important point. Sorry, I'm cutting you short just because time is short. Tehseen, that's an important point. In the end, all this noise is going to be a non-issue. People are going to vote on things that matter to them. They're going to vote. Manipuris are going to definitely vote on what's happening in their state. People are going to vote on issues that matter. They're not going to vote to these shouting matches between the two parties or the two blocks. Quickly, Tehseen.
That's true, but there is something called morality, and morality must come from the top, must come down from the top. But there is a larger issue I want to say. The House belongs to the opposition. The responsibility for running it is that of the government. If you move away from that, you're moving away from democracy. The onus does not lie on both. It is the onus of the government to run. Barkha, you've covered parliament, and so has Rahulji for a long time. Tell me, when was the last time you've seen a government run away from discussion? Under 267 from Shankar Dayal Sharma to Hamid. But they're not agreeing for 267. Barkha, they're not agreeing for 267. And that was my last point. From Shankar Dayal Sharma ji as vice president to Hamid Ansari. I'm talking about the recent history of India. Every vice president and chairman of Rajya Sabha conceded to 267. Why can't a discussion happen on 267? And next day under 176, you discuss Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, everything. Is Rajasthan under a civil war? Is Chhattisgarh under a civil war? Is there a civil war going on in other states? There is a goddamn civil war going on in Manipur. 4,800 AK-47 56 have been taken away. 6,800 rounds of live ammunition has been taken away, Barkha. When has it happened in another state of India? Not even at the peak of insurgency in Kashmir or Punjab has that happened. It is a goddamn civil war going on. How can you not keep away everything else and discuss it? Why is the government adamant to have a short duration discussion? And the minute the opposition presses for it, if the opposition presses for it, you say you're being adamant. The opposition doesn't press for it, you say the opposition is absent. Okay. What does the opposition do? And when the opposition presses for it, you call them terrorists. That's unfair. Terrorists are those people who took those weapons and went, and they left their Aadhaar card with the Manipur police while taking those weapons.
Okay, those are very passionate words. We'll have to leave it there, unfortunately, for a paucity of time. I agree that Manipur should be on top of the agenda, and the government and the opposition have to find a way to talk about Manipur. There should be an all-party delegation on the ground in Manipur at this point. That is actually what should be happening. But we will have to leave it there. Thank you, Tehseen, Ashwini ji, Rahul ji, and Varun ji. Thank you. And well, as I keep saying at the end of every such political debate, election season is already here. It's not 2024, but make no mistake, the election season has begun. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.